All right, we're going to be solving equations with fractional exponents. That's awesome. So just as a reminder, try and solve these and see if you remember how to do that, okay? So here I did these for you fairly quickly. Remember, when you square something, to get rid of it, square root. And the opposite for square root. When you want to get rid of the square root, you square. Pretty exciting. That's really all there is to it. Just remember, when you take the square root, always have to have that plus or minus. Okay? And same deal here. What did I forget? Of course, the plus or minus. That's plus or minus 2 radical 3. Okay? Here is 9. Square both sides. Here you have to get rid of the 1 first, so you add it and square both sides. Okay, so the rule of thumb is we do the inverse operation to solve these. So the basic idea is we have this 1/2 here. Now you should know that that means square root. But we can think of it also as a 1/2 power. And the greatest thing about this is, what I want is to have x to the first power. That's what I want. I want to get rid of that 1/2. So to get rid of that 1/2, if I raise this to the 2 over 1, well, what's 2 over 1? Remember, this is power to a power, so if I raise it to, or I square both sides, raise it to the 2 over 1, this cancels out. So whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So x to the 1/2 power equals 3. What's x? Well, these two cancel out and become a 1. So that's just x to the first, or x. And then this is just 3 to the 2 over 1 power, or 3 squared, which is 9. Okay, pretty exciting. So we get into interesting ones like this, so x to the 2/3 power. But the idea is the same. If I raise it to the 3 over 2 power, it's power to a power, we multiply. That's my symbol for multiplication. Raise it to the 3 over 2. These two cancel out. If you remember, it's 6 over 6, which is 1. So it's x to the first power equals 9 to the 3 over 2 power. Now that is 27. Now, the problem with this is, this 2 on the bottom, as you all know, means this is 9 to the 3 goes there and the 2 goes there. The square root. So whenever we have a square root, we do need to plus or minus. And to put it even better, whenever the denominator is even. And that's after we flip it. Even after the flip. We do need to do the plus or minus thing. Okay, so the basic idea, here are the steps. You guys have them. Isolate the power. That just means get as we do with everything, get the thing with the exponent by itself. Raise both sides to the reciprocal exponent, as you should all know or remember what we just did. Reciprocal means flip. So we flip that exponent and raise it to both sides. Solve whatever comes up. And remember, when the reciprocal, after you flipped it, has even denominator, you must include both roots. Both roots being plus root and the minus root. So let's do a couple examples here. Well, excuse me. So let's do a couple examples here to see how we go. I don't know what's going on. Going crazy. Purple. So what is being raised to the 2/5 power? That's your first question. And the thing being raised to the 2/5 power is just the x. So that 2 is not welcome on this side. Goodbye 2. So we have x to the 2 over 5 equals 13 divided by 2, which is 16. Now, this thing needs to be flipped. We need to get x by itself. Okay, when we do that, those cancel out, and we're just left with x equals 16 to the 5 over 2 power. Well, that is odd. That is even. So I know that I must plus or minus. And then you just have to do 16 to the 5 over 2 power in your head. So that is what, 1024. So the answer is positive 1024 and negative 1024. So more examples that you might enjoy, or you just might say, quit it. All right, we have x to the negative fourth power. Well, that's not a fraction, Miss Barris, but I can make it one. Oh, there we go. Negative 4 over 1. So any kind of equation with an exponent, you know, as long as it doesn't have any other terms, can be flipped. And we flip it, just flip. Okay, sign stays the same because this is negative 4 over 1 times negative 1 over 4, and that's going to make it a positive 1, and that's what I want. And then it's 16 to the negative 1 over 4 power. Put it in your calculator. It's pretty darn exciting. And I believe that's a half. Oh no, Miss Barris, look what you forgot. There you go. We have a 4 on the bottom after we flipped, so that's even. So we need the plus or minus. So it gets more and more fun as the day goes on. Okay, what is being raised to the 1/2 power? Well, all this stuff in parentheses. So we need to flip the exponent right away. So it's to the 2 over 1. That's a 2 over 1, in case you weren't sure. Okay, these cancel out and you're left with x plus 2 equals 6 squared. This is odd, so I'm going to leave it as just 36. Subtract the 2, and x is 34. Done. Done-a-rooski. All right. Raise this. Remember, this is 4 over 1, so when we flip it, it's 1 over 4 to both sides. This is x minus 2 equals 16 to the 1/4 power. So plus or minus, and then 16 to the 1/4 power is 2. So we have two equations to solve. X minus 2 equals the positive 2, and x minus 2 equals the negative 2. And we solve, and we get two answers. 2 for the price of 1. 4 and 0. And finally, we have these guys that take us into Algebra 2 trig. Or Algebra 2 Common Core. So, oh my god, if I do that again, I might hurt someone. All right, so what is being raised to the negative 4 over 3 power? Well, it's all this, anything in parentheses. So this negative 2 needs to be gotten rid of. So it's x minus 29 to the negative 4 over 3 power equals negative 2 divided by negative 2 over 81 divided by negative 2, which we know is 1 over 81. Alrighty, so then we just flip it. This is negative 4 over 3, so it's negative 3 over 4. Signs stay the same. We didn't change them before. Why would you be changing them now? Correct? Those cancel out. I'm left with x minus 29 equals, this is even, so it's plus or minus 1 over 81 to the negative 3/4 power. So I'm going to go on the top of my head and say that's 27. Okay. So then we do x minus 2 equals the positive 27, and x minus 2 equals the negative 27, and we solve like crazy people. Okay, so 29 and negative 25. Okay, so try this next guy, number 8, on your own and see what happens. Okay, so hopefully this looks familiar to you. When you do this, remember it's just to the x that's being raised to the negative 3rd power, so you got to get rid of the 2 and the 3 here, and you wind up getting 27. You flip the negative 3, and you wind up getting 1/3. This is odd, so it's just positive 1/3. Have a great one.